Your Beagle isn't stupid. I need you to hear that first. He's not dumb, but he is a scent hound, and that changes everything. Beagles consistently rank bottom tier for house training ease. This is real, and you're not imagining it. The reason is biology. Your dog's nose is wired directly into his decision-making. When a scent grabs him, every other thought, including "I gotta pee," gets demoted, just gone.
And beagles were bred for centuries to hunt independently in packs, making their own calls without a human telling them what to do. That's the exact opposite of what potty training asks for. You're saying, follow my schedule, go where I tell you, come when I call. His DNA is saying, nah, I got this. The selectively deaf thing, that's real too. A beagle mid-sniff is genuinely not hearing you. The scent tracking pathway in his brain temporarily overrides auditory attention. He's not being defiant. His ears are just offline. Then there's the food drive. Double-edged sword. That food obsession is going to be your best training tool. We'll get to that. But outside, it means he'll eat a dead worm, a mystery crumb, half a cigarette butt, and suddenly your potty trip is a scavenger hunt. The vocals don't help either. Beagles bay, whine, and howl for about 40 different reasons, and figuring out which noise means I need to go out versus there's a squirrel takes weeks. And the pack bonding instinct means crate training often comes with protest baying loud enough to wake your neighbors. Ask me how I know. Timeline. Most breeds are house trained by 4 to 6 months. Your Beagle? 8 to 12. Some need a full year. That's not failure. That's the breed. But the same dog solves puzzle feeders and opens latches you thought were childproof. That brain works fine. It's just pointed in a different direction right now. And the rest of this video is going to work with that nose, that appetite, and that voice, not against them. You've probably heard the formula. Age in months plus 1 equals hours they can hold it. Fine, decent starting point. But with a Beagle, knock at least an hour off that. Their constant sniffing and playing drives water intake up, and what goes in comes out fast. Real numbers. An 8-week-old Beagle puppy holds it about 1 to 2 hours during the day. 12 weeks, 2 to 3 hours. 16 weeks, maybe 4. And those are ceilings, not targets. Don't push them. Your Beagle puppy isn't sitting quietly on a pillow somewhere. He's a miniature working hound in a puppy body, constantly moving, constantly sniffing. Bladders empty faster under that kind of stimulation, way faster. Scent-triggered urination is a real thing with this breed. When a young beagle hits a new or strong scent, the urge to mark or release can just override whatever bladder window you thought you had left. No warning. Excitement urination too, super common in food-driven breeds. Your puppy sees the dinner bowl coming and dribbles before he even reaches it. Don't panic about that. Just plumbing meeting enthusiasm. So your daily schedule looks like this. First thing in the morning, within 10 to 15 minutes after every meal, Beagle digestion is fast, after every map, after every play session, and right before bed. That's a lot of trips outside. I know, it's temporary. Nighttime, expect at least 1 overnight potty break until about 14 to 16 weeks. Trying to push through earlier creates crate accidents, and honestly, those set you back more than the lost sleep does. Pull the water bowl about an hour or 2 before bedtime. Not as punishment, just giving the bladder a fair shot overnight. And don't, I mean this, don't trust your Beagle puppy to tell you he needs to go before 12 to 14 weeks. At that age, you are the bladder timer, not him. Okay, good news. That food obsession you've been cursing, best potty training tool you've got. Most breeds, you gotta build motivation from scratch. Your Beagle showed up pre-loaded. But not all treats are equal, and with Beagles, this matters more than most breeds. High value, high aroma. Liver, sardine, chicken, stuff that smells strong. Because your dog's world is smell first, a stinky treat hits different. Like way different. A dry biscuit is background noise to a beagle. Liver? That's a full sensory event for a scent hound brain. The reward lines up perfectly with how he's already wired. Timing. The treat has to come within 3 seconds of your puppy finishing peeing outside. 3 seconds. Not 10, not when we get back inside. A beagle's brain is already on to the next smell by then, and now you've accidentally rewarded sniffing a leaf. Build a treat hierarchy. Kibble for ordinary stuff. Sit, down, basic commands. Mid-value treats for stay, recall work. And the absolute best? Cheese, hot dog, freeze-dried liver, reserved exclusively for outdoor potty success. Nowhere else, ever. That potty spot becomes the highest-paying gig your dog's got.
Now, and I'm serious about this, beagles gain weight faster than almost any breed. Every treat gets subtracted from meal portions, pea-sized pieces. For routine potty trips, just use part of his actual meal kibble. Save the high-value stuff for breakthroughs or when he doesn't want to go out in the rain. Around 5 to 6 months, start fading. Beagles will absolutely milk the treat system forever if you let them. Every single time. Those eyes, that tail. Shift from every time treating to intermittent reinforcement. Sometimes a treat. Sometimes just praise and a good scratch behind the ears. Keep him guessing. One more thing. Try a find it game after potty success. Scatter a few kibbles in the grass and let him sniff them out. Satisfies the nose and rewards at the same time. Beagle Gold. Okay, so the first thing you gotta understand about containing a beagle indoors is that you're not dealing with a normal puppy. You're dealing with a small, adorable hound who will treat every barrier you build like a personal challenge. They jump higher than you'd expect, they chew harder than they should, and they are relentlessly, annoyingly persistent about getting out. Plan for that dog, not the cute one sleeping on Instagram. Get an exercise pen with at least 36-inch panels. I know that sounds tall for a dog this size, but your beagle will clear a standard 24-inch pen by 4, maybe 5 months old. A motivated adult can launch over 30 inches like it's nothing. And those pressure-mounted baby gates? They're a suggestion, not a wall. A beagle who figures out that slamming into one at full speed pops it loose will do it every single time after that. Every time. Now, flooring. This matters more with beagles than almost any breed I work with. Vinyl, tile, sealed laminate, never carpet. Because that nose is the silent saboteur of your entire potty training effort. You can scrub a carpet accident until your knees hurt, and your beagle will still smell it 3 weeks later and think, oh cool, this is where we go. Anything porous in that zone becomes a future accident magnet, period. Divide the space into clear sub-areas. Bed in one corner, food and water in another, play zone, and a designated potty spot, pad or fake grass, as far from the sleeping area as physically possible. Beagles don't want to soil where they sleep. Use that instinct. Chew-proof everything. Bored beagles and pens become destruction engineers. No soft fabric panels, no exposed wires, nothing they can dismantle. Metal or hard plastic. And for the climbers, especially between 5 and 10 months when escape ambition peaks, throw a lid on top. One more thing. Position the pen where your family actually lives. Kitchen, living room. Not a back bedroom. Beagles are pack animals, and if they can't see you, they will bay. For hours. Trust me, your neighbors already know what breed you have. And don't use the pen as a dump and leave solution. Extended unsupervised containment makes a beagle frustrated, loud, destructive, and here's the kicker. They'll start soiling the pen out of sheer boredom, which undoes everything you've built. Walk the zone yourself, on your hands and knees.
Look for anything a curious nose could exploit. You'll be surprised what you find down there. Most crate training guides are written for a dog that treats a crate like a crate, a quiet little den they settle into after some initial fussing. Your Beagle is not that dog, not even close. Beagles were bred to live and work in packs, actual literal packs of dogs and people, all day in the field. So when you lock one in a small metal box by themselves, their nervous system doesn't read it as nap time, it reads it as abandonment, and they respond accordingly. Which brings us to the baying. A stressed Beagle in a crate doesn't whine. They don't whimper politely and then settle. They unleash the full hound voice, a sound that was specifically engineered over centuries to carry across open hunting fields and through dense forest cover. And it does not stop. The standard advice of just ignore the crying, they'll self-soothe, works great with a golden retriever. With a Beagle, the baying escalates. It gets louder, it gets more desperate. Your neighbors will lose patience long before your dog does. And here's the part that really wrecks things. An anxious Beagle in a crate will eventually soil it. Not because they're being difficult, because they're panicking. Genuine panic urination. And the whole foundation of crate training is that dogs won't go where they sleep, right? Well, once a Beagle breaks that rule even once, the den association cracks. They become way more likely to do it again. That's a setback that can take weeks to undo. So does that mean crates are useless? No, but you need a completely different protocol. Start with sessions of 1 to 2 minutes. Owner visible, door open at first, then closed briefly. Build up over weeks, not days like you do with most breeds. And never, ever use the crate as punishment. A Beagle who associates the crate with bad things will refuse to go near it, and good luck reversing that. Placement matters too. The crate goes in the living room, the kitchen, wherever the family is, not the laundry room, not the basement. Your Beagle needs to learn to be calm in the crate while feeling like they're still part of the pack. And that crate them for your 8-hour workday advice you see everywhere? For most breeds, it's debatable. For Beagles, it's genuinely not okay. Bladder, boredom, or anxiety, something's going to break around the 4-hour mark. Usually all 3. The crate's still a tool, a good one, but for Beagles, it's a careful tool, not a default solution. Most adult Beagles land around 13 to 15 inches at the shoulder, 20 to 30 pounds. That puts them in the medium-small crate range. Not the tiny one you'd grab for a Yorkie, not the big one built for a lab, right in between. Your target is a 30-inch crate, long enough for a full-grown Beagle to stretch out completely, tall enough to stand without crouching, just barely. And that just barely part is actually important. Too small and you get joint strain, crate refusal, a dog who dreads going in. Too big and you get, well, a bedroom on one end and a bathroom on the other, which completely destroys the whole point of house training with a crate. Here's what I tell every Beagle owner. Buy the adult-size 30-inch crate now and get a divider panel, way cheaper than buying 2 or 3 crates as your puppy grows. At 8 to 12 weeks, set the divider so there's just enough room for the pup to turn around and lie down comfortably, nothing more. Then slide it back every few weeks as they grow. Material. Go wire. Wire crates give better airflow, better visibility, and for a pack-oriented breed that hates feeling cut off from the action, that matters. You can always drape a blanket over 3 sides to make it more den-like when they need it. Best of both worlds. Plastic airline-style crates work for some of the more anxious Beagles who want that enclosed feeling, but they limit visibility and airflow, which backfires on the social ones. Fabric crates? No. A determined Beagle will chew through mesh in minutes. Not an exaggeration. Metal or hard plastic only.
Do a fit check around 5 to 6 months. Most Beagles are close to adult height by then. Make sure the divider's moved where it should be and that your dog can still stand, turn, and lie flat without being cramped. Your Beagle has like 3 completely different voices, and none of them come with subtitles. You've got the sharp bark, that's the something's happening alarm, squirrel, doorbell, leaf that moved weird. Then there's the bay, that long, soulful howl that sounds like a tiny wolf having a midlife crisis. That one's usually boredom, loneliness, or just being a Beagle. And then there's the whine, soft, anxious, kind of pathetic. That's your potty signal, usually. Here's how you tell. Whine plus heading toward the door plus pacing, that's a high confidence, I gotta go. Whine with a toy in their mouth, they want something else. Bay from the crate with no circling, no sniffing, that's drama, not bladder. And I know, early on, it all sounds the same, which is why I'm a huge fan of just giving your Beagle a button or a doorbell to hit. Seriously, these dogs are so food motivated that if you pair touch this thing with go outside and get a treat, they'll learn it in like 3 days, maybe 4. Ring it yourself every single time you take them out, and the association clicks fast. But here's where people mess up. Your Beagle bays, you open the door. Now they've learned that noise equals freedom, and a Beagle who figures that out, good luck putting that genie back. That becomes a lifelong management problem. Honestly, for the first few weeks, don't even trust the signals. Trust the schedule. Beagles develop reliable potty communication later than most breeds. Their voice matures before their judgment does. So your Beagle has roughly 220 million scent receptors. You have about 5 million. That's not a fun trivia fact. That's the entire reason potty training this dog is different from potty training a lab or a poodle or basically anything else. What happens is this. Your Beagle starts peeing, and midstream, literally midstream, a smell hits that's more interesting than what their body's doing, and the brain just reprioritizes. Bladder goes to the back of the line. Nose takes over. They walk away half-finished. You're standing there like, were you not just doing something? And they're already 3 feet away, face down in a patch of grass where a raccoon walked 6 hours ago. This isn't disobedience. It's not even distraction the way we think of it. It's the same wiring that made these dogs legendary rabbit hunters, just firing at really inconvenient times. So, environmental control. Pick a potty spot that's boring. Bare grass, gravel, whatever, away from bushes, fences, anywhere other dogs have marked. You want the nose to have nothing to latch onto. And for the love of everything, don't potty train in a shared apartment courtyard or a park strip. Every other dog's scent becomes a 10-minute investigation, and your Beagle never actually goes. Use a long line, not off-leash. It keeps the nose from dragging them too far off task, while still giving them enough slack to sniff and trigger elimination. And start saying, "go potty," or whatever phrase you want, every time they're actively peeing. Every single time. Eventually, that becomes a verbal redirect when the nose takes over. One thing that actually helps, let them sniff for 2 or 3 minutes first. Beagles kinda need to read the morning paper before their body cooperates. Fight that, and you'll be out there forever. If they stop mid-pee, don't yell. Walk them quietly back to the same spot. Their own scent is still there, and it actually helps refocus them on finishing the job. That nose that's making your life harder right now, it's also the solution. You just gotta work with it, not against it. Okay, schedule. And I mean a real schedule. Not, we usually take him out after breakfast, I think. With most breeds, a loose routine is fine. With a Beagle,
Loose routine is how you end up with pee on the rug at month 4, and no idea why. Here's why it matters more for this breed specifically. Your Beagle's nose is constantly pulling their attention away from internal signals.
The only thing strong enough to override that is biology. Rigid, predictable biology. These dogs were bred as pack hunters who lived on synchronized daily rhythms. Eat together, move together, rest together. Their bodies still expect that kind of structure. You give it to them, and the bladder starts running on autopilot. You don't, and every potty trip becomes a negotiation between the nose and the bladder. Nose wins. Nose always wins.
And Beagles have a fast metabolism, with a relatively small bladder for how much food they inhale. So the windows come up quicker than you'd expect for a medium-sized dog. First thing, set meal times, no free feeding. A free-fed Beagle has completely unpredictable elimination, and you've also just killed your best training currency, because food becomes background noise. Both of those are fatal for house training.
Puppy schedule. Out every 1 to 2 hours when awake. Tighter than that after anything that spikes their arousal. New smells in the house, visitors, a delivery box. Those are scent events, and scent events accelerate everything. Your non-negotiables? Treat these like meetings on a calendar. First thing in the morning, 15 minutes after every meal, after every nap, after every play session, and after any prolonged sniffing episode. Yes, that last one. If your Beagle just spent 5 minutes nose down tracking something across the living room, take them out. Adults typically need 4 to 5 outings a day, but, and this is a Beagle thing, they hold it inconsistently. They'll get distracted by indoor scents and genuinely forget they need to go until it's suddenly urgent. So don't assume your adult Beagles got it handled just because they went 3 months without an accident. Write the schedule down, on paper, for the first 30 days minimum. I think I took him out around 2 is not good enough for this breed. They find every gap, every single one. Last thing, don't restrict water, but pick up the bowl about 2 hours before bed. A Beagle who drinks at 10 is baying at 3 a.m. That's just math. The schedule is your best weapon against that nose-first brain. Use it like you mean it. So there's this thing called the gastrocolic reflex. Basically, food hits the stomach and the colon goes, cool, time to push everything else out. Every dog has it. But your Beagle inhales a full bowl in like 90 seconds, maybe less, barely chewing, just vacuuming. And that means the reflex fires harder and faster than it does in a dog that actually takes their time eating, which gives you a very small window. 15 minutes after the bowl is empty, leash on, outside. Not in a sec, not let me finish this email. 15 minutes. Because with a Beagle puppy, 20 to 25 minutes is already too late. That's not an exaggeration, I mean it. The speed they eat at, the way their system processes it, the clock is tight and it does not care about your schedule. And do not let your Beagle nap right after eating. They'll crash, way up eating to go urgently, and they won't signal, especially if there's something interesting to sniff on the way to you. They'll get distracted, squat, and now you've got a mess. The post-meal trip should be short and boring. This is not the sniff walk. Short leash, designated spot, business only. The enrichment walk comes after. One thing people miss, this rule applies to big treats too. A bully stick session, a stuffed Kong, anything high volume can trigger the same reflex. Treat it the same way. Now, does this loosen up? Yeah. As they mature and develop real bladder and bowel control, you get more flexibility. But don't relax it until you've had 2 to 3 solid months of 0 accidents. Not mostly clean, 0. And those random accidents during house training, they're not random. You missed the window by 5 minutes. That's the reflex doing exactly what it does, every time. Your Beagle potties by scent memory more than almost any breed alive. That nose is running the show, even when they're squatting. And that's actually good news, because it means once you pick the right spot and they use it a few times, it becomes self-reinforcing. The scent builds up, the brain goes, "This is the bathroom," and eventually your dog pulls you there on their own. But you gotta pick the right spot.
Stay away from high distraction zones, fence lines where rabbits or cats travel, anywhere near garbage cans, anywhere your beagle has previously locked onto a scent trail and lost their mind. That's not a potty spot, that's a theme park. But don't go too sterile either. Bare concrete, totally scentless surfaces. A beagle needs some ground engagement to trigger the urge. Grass, dirt, mulch, something their nose can work with just enough. Keep it close to the door. I mean close. A beagle walking to a far-off spot will get hijacked by the first interesting smell within 10 feet. And now you're on a sniff walk, not a potty trip. Same spot, every single trip, for at least 60 days. No variety, no rotation. Their nose builds a map, and you want that map to have one pin on it. Here's a trick that works scary well on beagles specifically. Take a small piece of soiled paper towel from an indoor accident and place it at the designated spot. Scent primer. Their olfactory bias does all the work for you. If you can, avoid spots that are heavily marked by other neighborhood dogs. That much strange scent either sends your beagle into full investigation mode or intimidates a softer dog into holding it. Pick somewhere with low foot traffic too. Passing people, kids, other dogs pull them right out of potty mode. Your beagle has around 220 million olfactory receptors. The part of their brain dedicated to processing scent is proportionally bigger than almost any other breeds. So when they step outside, the nose takes over, like fully takes over. It's running the operating system. Everything else, including the bladder signal, gets pushed to the background. And I need you to hear this part. Your beagle is not ignoring you. They're not being defiant. The bladder is genuinely being overridden by incoming scent data. Stop reading it as stubbornness. It's not. You already know the scenario. You take them out, they sniff for 20 minutes, nothing happens, you give up, go inside, and 4 minutes later they pee on the rug. Every beagle owner on earth is nodding right now. So here's what you do. Reduce the scent input. Pick a boring spot. Not the park, not the trail. Short leash. Stand still. Stop talking to them. Stop walking. Let boredom do its job. When there's nothing new to process, the bladder signal fights its way back to the front. Give it 5 to 7 minutes max. If nothing happens, back inside, straight into the crate, or under direct supervision for 10 minutes. Then try again. Do not walk it out. Walking a beagle to make them pee just floods them with more sense and makes the whole thing worse. And start building a cue word. Go potty, be quick, whatever you want, said only at the spot, only during potty trips. Over time, that cue becomes a pattern interrupt. It cuts through the nose noise just long enough for the bladder to get a word in. This is the single most misunderstood behavior in the breed, and once your viewers actually get why it happens, they'll trust everything else you tell them. I'm gonna say something that sounds extreme, and I don't care. Every single potty trip, every one, your beagle goes out on a leash. Fenced yard, unfenced yard, doesn't matter. The leash stays on, non-negotiable. And I already know what you're thinking, but my yard is fenced. Cool. A fence keeps your beagle inside the perimeter. It does absolutely nothing to keep that nose focused. And an unfocused beagle, that dog is not house training, period. You let a beagle off leash in a yard, even a tiny yard, and what happens? Scent investigation tour. Every blade of grass, every spot where a squirrel sat 3 days ago, every corner where the neighbor's cat walked by last week. Your dog came outside to pee, and instead they're running a full forensic sweep of the property. They forget why they're out there, completely. So the leash, 4 to 6 feet, held short. You stand in one spot like a statue. Boring, still not interesting at all. Your dog gets enough slack to circle, sniff a small area, squat. That's it. Not enough to follow a trail into the far corner. Think of it like walking a kid to the bathroom versus dropping that same kid in a toy store and saying, "Go whenever you're ready." Totally different outcomes. The leash also lets you watch. You're right there, close enough to read the body language, see the squat start, and mark the second elimination happens. That matters a lot. We'll get into the timing piece in a minute. One thing I'd recommend, get a separate potty leash, different from the walk leash. Your beagle figures out fast that this leash means business. That leash means sniff adventure. They pick up on context cues quicker than people give them credit for. Now, if your dog won't go on leash at first, and some won't, especially adult rescues, don't fight it. Just stand there. Be the boring statue. Wait, 99% of beagles cave within a few sessions once they realize you're not moving until the job's done. And honestly, for rescue beagles specifically, this one change, Leash-On potty, is often the single fix that cracks months of "this dog won't house train" complaints from previous homes. Keep the Leash-On routine going for at least 30 consecutive accident-free days before you even think about off-leash potty in the yard. And even then, you're out there supervising. Trust is earned with this breed. "3 seconds. That's your window. Your beagle finishes peeing, and you have got 3 seconds to land that reward, or the whole rep is wasted. Because here's what happens at second 4, 5, 6. Your beagle's nose has already moved on. They're sniffing the fence post, they're locked onto something in the grass, and now when the treat arrives, their brain files it under, "I got rewarded for sniffing that fence post," not for peeing. The peeing is ancient history to them, and this is a beagle thing specifically. These dogs cycle through sense stimuli so fast that even a small delay, we're talking 5 seconds, is enough for them to be mentally 3 trees away from what just happened. Their nose is a conveyor belt. It doesn't stop. So here's how you actually do this. Treat is already in your hand before the dog squats, already there. The second the stream starts, you mark it. Yes, or a clicker, whatever you use. But you do not deliver the treat yet. You wait until they finish. Because, and this is the mistake I see constantly, if you praise or shove a treat at a beagle while they're still mid-pee, you startle them. They stop, half-empty bladder. And guess where the rest ends up? Your kitchen floor 20 minutes later. The marker word is doing the heavy lifting here. It bridges the gap between the act and the treat. And beagles learn marker words scary fast because food is involved. Anything connected to food, this breed absorbs like a sponge. Wear a treat pouch every potty trip. Running inside to grab a treat is a 30-second delay, and you've just thrown away the rep entirely. And watch for this, the classic beagle failure mode. Dog finishes peeing, immediately locks onto a smell, then gets the treat. You just rewarded sniffing. You gotta mark before the nose engages. Before. This is a skill you need to drill. Practice the timing. Get it into your hands. It's mechanical, not emotional. Treat it that way. Your beagle is, and I say this with love, the greediest dog alive who will also look at a perfectly good treat and go, "Nah." It's maddening. They're the most food-motivated breed on the planet and somehow also picky about which food they'll actually work for. And it makes sense once you understand what's happening. The nose evaluates the treat before the mouth ever does. So something bland smelling, doesn't matter how tasty it is, Your Beagle sniffs it, gets nothing exciting, and gives you that look. You know the look. The, "is that seriously what you're offering me" look? So go smelly, liver, freeze-dried beef heart, hot dog bits, sharp cheese, sardines, anchovy paste on a lick stick if you want to get creative. Smell beats taste every time with this breed. The stronger the aroma, the faster the response. And please, ditch the dry biscuit treats for house training. Those crunchy milk bone type things carry 0 scent payload. They're fine for a casual good boy inside. They are not fine for reinforcing the behavior you're trying to build outside. Set up tiers. Your highest value treat, the liver, the sardine, whatever makes your dog lose their mind, that's reserved exclusively for outdoor potty success. You don't burn it on sit. You don't waste it on shake. That treat only comes out when pee hits grass. Protect the value. Keep everything pea-sized, tiny. Your Beagle is doing 20+ potty trips a day during training. And this breed gains weight like nothing else I've seen. It's fast and it's ugly. Subtract treat calories from their daily food. Seriously. An overweight Beagle isn't just a cosmetic problem. It's a health crisis waiting to happen. And this breed's already predisposed. One more thing. Your Beagle might sniff a treat and walk away, like they're not interested. Don't panic. Don't immediately upgrade to filet mignon. They're testing you. They do this. Stay calm, continue the session. They'll come around. Your Beagle isn't being defiant. I know it looks like defiant. The eye contact, the slow sit down, the absolute refusal to move toward the door. But that dog was bred for centuries to work alone. Miles from a handler, hours deep into a scent trail, making every decision solo. That independence kept the breed alive. And now it's showing up in your living room at 6 a.m. when you're standing there in your socks holding a leash. Lucky you. Here's what I've learned the hard way. You will not out-stubborn a Beagle. You won't. They were built for this. So the whole game, the entire strategy, is to stop making it a standoff. The second house training becomes a battle of wills, you've already lost. And I mean this one hard. 0 punishment. None. No nose rubbing, no yelling, no scruffing. Your Beagle is sensitive under all that swagger, and if you punish them for an accident, they don't learn "don't pee inside." They learn "don't pee in front of you." So they go find a closet, behind the couch, under the guest bed. Now you've got a secret peer, and that's 10 times harder to fix. And Beagles hold grudges, not the obvious sulking kind, more like quiet non-cooperation. Days of it. You damaged trust, and now retraining just got twice as long. So lean into what actually works. Food. Your Beagle's nose points toward reward more reliably than it runs from punishment. Positive reinforcement isn't soft parenting here. It's the only lever that consistently moves this breed. Set your expectations now. 4 to 6 months for reliable house training. Some Beagles, 8 to 12. That's normal. You're not failing. And the passive resistance thing, you know it. The slow walk to the door, the dramatic lie down halfway there, the intense stare like, "make me." Don't get stern, get fun. Happy voice, treat in hand, jog to the door like something exciting's out there. Act like a clown if you have to. Beagles follow fun. They do not follow authority. That stubborn streak, it's the same trait that makes them brilliant trackers, loyal pack dogs, the kind of companion that sticks. You don't want to train it out. You want to work with it. The owners who get that, their Beagles house train beautifully. Okay, this one. This is the thing that makes Beagle owners lose their minds more than anything else during potty training. You take your dog outside to pee. They don't pee. They track, nose down, tail up, completely gone. You stand there for 15 minutes, nothing. You go back inside, and 30 seconds later, 30 seconds, they squat on the kitchen floor. Sound familiar? Yeah. Your Beagle has about 220 million scent receptors. They were specifically bred to lock onto a trail and ignore everything else, including you yelling their name from 20 feet away. When that nose engages, the olfactory cortex basically takes over. Your voice becomes background noise. Yelling louder doesn't help. Trust me, it literally does not register. So here's what you do. First, and this is the big one, potty first, walk second. Never combine them. You go to the designated potty spot, you wait for production, and then the walk starts. The walk is the reward. If you let your Beagle walk and sniff before they've gone, you're going to get the classic wasted potty break every single time. That potty spot? Low stimulation, boring part of the yard. Ideally somewhere they've already gone before, so the existing scent does the triggering for you instead of some random squirrel trail. Use a long line, not off-leash. A Beagle in scent mode will literally wander off and forget to potty her an hour. I've seen it. You need to keep them in the zone. And get a verbal cue going early. Go potty, be quick, whatever you pick. But here's the catch. You've got to give that cue before the nose engages. Once tracking starts, no cue on earth is going to land. You've got a window of maybe 10 seconds after you walk outside. Use it. The selective hearing isn't defiance. It's hardware. You're not going to override 220 million scent receptors with volume. You work around it. People assume Beagles are weatherproof. Hunting hound, right? Built for the field? Yeah, no. Your Beagle has a short double coat that lies flat and does almost nothing in cold or wet conditions. And that belly? It's low, like close to the ground low. Every step through wet grass is basically a cold bath on their underside. You've seen the pattern. You open the door, rain. Your Beagle plants, full stop. Or, and this one's my favorite, they take 3 steps onto wet grass, do the dramatic full body shake, and walk right back to the door. Or they squat, start to go, and just abort, midstream. Nope. Here's the problem. A Beagle will hold it. They'll hold it dangerously long rather than go out in weather they hate. And that means UTIs. That means the second they come back inside, they can't hold it anymore, and you've got an accident that looks like a house training failure, but is actually a weather problem. So build them a covered potty zone, a tarp, a patio overhang, an umbrella rigged over a patch of grass, whatever works. Give them a dry spot that's always dry. Get a raincoat, a real one, not a cute one, something that actually covers the belly. Most Beagles tolerate them fast because, honestly, dry beats fashion resistance pretty quick. Booties for ice and salt are optional, and fair warning, a lot of Beagles will act like you've broken their legs the first time you try them. If you've got a puppy, start now. Go outside in light rain on purpose. Wind, snow. During the socialization window, every weather exposure is money in the bank. You're preventing the refusal pattern before it forms. And when it is bad weather, keep it short. Get out, give the cue, reward the second they go, get back in. Don't make a cold, rainy potty break feel like a punishment walk. Quick and businesslike, in and out. Okay, quick distinction that matters more than people think. If your male Beagle is leaving puddles in the middle of the floor, that's a potty training problem. If he's squirting small amounts on the corner of your couch, the side of your laundry basket, the leg of your new bookshelf, that's marking. Totally different thing. He's not confused about where to pee. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's leaving a message. And look, your Beagle was bred to work in packs and communicate through scent. 400 years of breeding made him this way. He's doing his job. You just don't love where he's doing it. Intact males are way worse about this, And if you neutered him after it already became a habit, 6 to 12 months is when it usually kicks in. Neutering helps, but it doesn't erase the pattern. The triggers for Beagles specifically: a new dog visiting, new furniture, unfamiliar scents on your shoes or bags coming through the door, anything that shifts the pack dynamic in the house. Frontline tool: belly band. It's not training, it's containment. It stops him from succeeding at the claim, which is what reinforces the whole cycle. Clean every marked spot with enzymatic cleaner, not ammonia-based. That smells like pee to him and basically puts up a neon sign saying, "Mark here again."
If you catch him mid-squat, interrupt them and redirect outside immediately. Punishing after the fact? Useless. He doesn't connect it. Marking is manageable. It's not really curable. Consistent management over several months. That's the realistic timeline.
This one gets mishandled constantly, and I need you to hear me on this. Your puppy peeing when you walk through the door is not a potty training failure. It's involuntary. It's a reflex tied to emotion. And if you treat it like a house training issue, if you scold, if you even sigh loud enough, you will make it dramatically worse. I mean, dramatically.
And here's what's funny about Beagles. They've got this reputation: bold, confident, that big baying bark, charging through the woods. But underneath, especially as puppies, they're soft, genuinely sensitive dogs. And that sensitivity shows up as pee on your floor during the first 6 to 12 months. 2 types, and they're different. Excitement peeing happens during greetings, play, high energy moments, anything that spikes arousal. Submissive peeing happens when the puppy feels overwhelmed, scolded, loomed over, or approached by something that reads as dominant. The fix for excitement peeing is managing the energy. The fix for submissive peeing is backing off, because your beagle is already telling you he feels small. Adding pressure, raised voice, disappointed tone, even a hard stare, deepens the response every single time. So, low-key arrivals, no eye contact at the door, no excited high-pitched greeting. Don't loom over the puppy. Crouch sideways, let him come to you. Better yet, greet outside during this phase, so any excitement pee hits grass and nobody cares. Most beagles outgrow this entirely by 12 to 18 months as bladder control matures. But if you're seeing leaking outside of emotional triggers, especially in a female, get a vet check. UTIs happen, and ectopic ureter is rare but real. Yeah, we gotta talk about this one. And if you're a beagle owner, you already know. Pretty much every single beagle owner deals with this at some point. And I want you to understand why before we get into the how to stop it part, because the why actually matters here. Your beagle was bred to be a scavenger hound. Minimal rations, find food independently in the field, eat whatever you can get. That "I will eat literally anything" wiring, it's not a flaw. It's the feature that made beagles great at their job. Same wiring that makes them so easy to train with treats is the wiring that makes them eat goose poop, rabbit pellets, cat litter clumps, and yeah, their own deposits. It's all connected. Now, the types: eating their own stool, eating other dogs' stool, eating cat feces from the litter box, and oh man, this is a beagle favorite, like it's a delicacy, and eating wildlife droppings on walks. Each one's a slightly different problem. Medical stuff first. Parasites, malabsorption issues, EPI, or a diet that's missing something can all push a dog toward stool eating. If this started suddenly or it's severe, that work up before anything else. On the behavioral side, boredom, understimulation. A beagle with nothing to sniff and nothing to do in a sparse yard will eat poop for entertainment. That's the truth of it. The single most effective thing you can do? Pick it up immediately. every single time. Every uneaten deposit reinforces the habit, not later, the second he walks away. Deterrent supplements, pineapple, forbid, pumpkin, I'll be honest, they help some beagles, do nothing for others, and they never replace the cleanup routine. Block that litter box completely. Baby gate, covered box up high, relocate it. A determined beagle will dismantle most setups people call Beagle-Proof. Train a solid leave it with high-value rewards for outdoor walks, and if you're near goose-heavy parks, basket muzzle. It's a tool, not a punishment. Real expectations here. Management beats elimination with this breed. That's the deal.
So your beagle's not having accidents anymore. Congratulations. Except, yeah, they are. You just haven't found them yet. See, a beagle that's been punished after the fact for peeing inside doesn't learn don't pee in the house. That's not what their brain takes away. What they learn is don't pee where the human can see me do it. And now you've got a problem, because that independent, figure-it-out-myself hunting brain, it's really, really good at finding hiding spots. Behind the couch, under the bed, that spare bedroom nobody uses, inside a closet you left cracked open, behind curtains, on bath mats. I've seen beagles pee in laundry baskets. They go for enclosed, low-traffic, soft-surfaced spots, and they're quiet about it. That nose-to-the-ground, problem-solving wiring that makes them incredible tracking dogs makes them incredible at hiding evidence. Go buy a UV blacklight, like today, $10. Walk through your house tonight with the lights off. You will be genuinely horrified, but you can't fix what you can't see. Every spot that lights up, hit it with an enzymatic cleaner, the kind that breaks down uric acid. Regular floor cleaner means nothing to a beagle's nose. That scent's still there, and it's basically a neon sign saying, pee here again. Now the actual fix. Stop punishing accidents you didn't witness, period. You reward the catches, not the fines. Your beagle needs to learn that going in front of you outside is the thing that wins. During retraining, tether your dog to you or keep them in direct line of sight. Close doors to unused rooms. Block under furniture gaps. Remove every opportunity until the new pattern sticks. And I mean weeks of clean floors, not days. This one's specific to your breed in a way that's actually meaningful. Beagles aren't social dogs the way people use that phrase for every breed. They're pack hounds, bred to live, hunt, and learn in groups. That's not marketing copy. That's working hardware baked into the dog. And it means a beagle puppy raised alongside a confident, house-trained adult dog will almost always potty train faster than a beagle in a single dog home. I've watched this play out over and over. The puppy follows the older dog to the door, sniffs the same patch of yard, squats in the same spot, sees the praise happen, and picks up the whole sequence through observation. Not because you taught it, because the pack taught it. During training, take both dogs out together. Let the older dog go first. Your beagle pup will sniff that spot and more often than not go right there. It's honestly kind of beautiful how fast it clicks. But, and I need to say this, it only works if the older dog is actually reliable, house-trained, calm, tolerant of a puppy chewing on their ears. A grumpy adult or an untrained one doesn't help. They make it worse. And pack learning cuts both ways. Beagles copy bad habits just as fast. Marking, eating poop, barking at the window. If the older dog does it, your beagle's gonna do it too. If you don't have a second dog, structured playdates with a trained adult beagle or another hound can give you a weaker version of the same effect. It's not cohabitation level results, but it's something. For beagle owners specifically, this is one of the few genuine cheat codes you've got. Use it.
Okay, let's talk about 3 a.m. Because when your beagle decides to vocalize at 3 in the morning, it's not a whimper, it's not a little whine, it's a full bay. A sound literally engineered to carry across a forest so a hunting pack can find each other. Your neighbors can hear it. Trust me, they can hear it.
Which is why your nighttime routine has to be tighter than it would be with most breeds. And the tricky part is, beagles wake up at night for 2 different reasons: actual potty need and scent-triggered alertness. And you've got to handle both. Because if you let them out every single time they bay, they learn real fast that baying equals door opens equals a whole world of smells. Now you've got a dog who bays for fun. Cut water about 2 hours before bed. Move the last meal early enough that they've processed it. Then right before lights out, don't just open the back door. Take them on a short sniff walk. A beagle whose nose has been properly tired out is way less likely to wake up at 2 a.m. chasing phantom scents. Mental drainage matters as much as bladder drainage with this breed. Crate in the bedroom, not the laundry room.
Beagles are pack dogs. Isolate them and the baying gets louder, not quieter. And watch this trap. If you give a treat after every successful nighttime trip outside, your food-obsessed beagle will absolutely learn to fake bay for snacks. Praise only at night, no food. Bladder-wise, the rough rule is age in months +1 in hours. But even adult beagles, they drink a lot after exercise, so cap your expectations around 6 or 7 hours. When you do that middle-of-the-night trip, keep it boring. Lights low, no talking, no eye contact. Straight out, straight back. Because the second you make it social, your beagle reads that as pack hangout time, and they will request it every single night. Pee pad transitions go wrong with beagles more than almost any breed I work with. And the reason is so obvious once you hear it. It's the nose. 225 million scent receptors. Your beagle doesn't remember where the pad was. Your beagle smells where the pad was. And that changes everything about how you handle this. See, most dogs anchor their potty habits to location or surface. Your beagle anchors to scent. That pad's been sitting in the same corner for weeks, and the residual smell has soaked into the floor underneath it. You pull the pad up, you think you've moved to the bathroom. Your beagle's nose says it's still right there. That molecular trace doesn't go anywhere. So here's what actually works. Take a lightly used pad, not a fresh one that's got the scent on it, and put it outside at the exact spot you want them going. Leave it there 2-3 days. You're building a scent bridge. You're letting that nose do the work for you instead of against you. And please do not go cold turkey. Most breeds can handle a sudden switch. Your beagle will just find the nearest scent-similar surface indoors. A bath mat, a rug. Congratulations, you've got a new problem. Now, once you do get them outside, there's another issue. Every squirrel trail, every neighbor dog's mark, every stray food wrapper, your beagle's potty mission gets hijacked in seconds. Set up a boring, low-stimulation potty area, separate from where you walk or play. Boring is the point. One more thing. Beagles raised on soft pads often won't touch wet grass. Try mulch or a dirt patch first. And give this transition 2 to 3 weeks of overlap minimum, not a weekend. Owners who rush it regress every single time. Okay, you've heard the standard advice. Watch for sniffing and circling. Great, your beagle sniffs and circles 14 hours a day for fun. That advice is basically useless with this breed, unless you know what to look for underneath it. Here's the difference. Recreational tracking, the stuff your beagle does because that's literally what beagles do, moves them forward. It's linear. Nose down, covering ground, following a trail somewhere. Pre-potty sniffing is different. It's fixated. They keep coming back to the same square foot.
tight little microcircles over the same spot. That's your signal. There's also what I call the abrupt stop tell. Your beagles happily trailing along, nose glued to the ground, and then they just freeze. Head comes up, pause. Then the nose drops back down into a tight spiral. That's not a new scent. That's a potty moment. Learn to read it. And because this is a beagle, a loud, opinionated beagle, listen for vocal cues too. A soft whine, a single short bark aimed at the door, sometimes even a little alert bay. Honestly, get one of those doorbell buttons. Stick it low on the wall. Food-motivated beagles learn to ring that thing faster than almost any breed I've worked with. Watch their body too. That low, squared-up squat. Males and females both do it before leg lifting becomes habit. Tail goes stiff and horizontal. Ears pull back just slightly. Or they wander away from you toward a quiet corner. That's not exploring, that's signaling. But here's my real advice. Read all of this in combination with timing. After meals, after naps, after play. Sniffing alone is too ambiguous with a beagle. When in doubt, just take them out. A false alarm costs you nothing. A missed signal costs you a carpet. Your beagle has roughly 225 million scent receptors. This dog was bred, specifically, selectively, over centuries to follow a faint trail across miles of countryside. So when you clean up an accident with soap and water and think you're done, to your beagle, you basically put up a neon bathroom sign.
With most breeds, clean it up well is genuinely enough. With your beagle, anything short of full enzymatic breakdown of the urine compounds is wasted effort. They will find that spot again, every time.
Enzymatic cleaners, and I mean real vet-grade enzymatic cleaners, not those pet odor neutralizer sprays, work by breaking down uric acid crystals that regular cleaning leaves behind. That's what you need. And here's a mistake I see constantly: ammonia-based cleaners. Urine contains ammonia. You're cleaning pee smell with pee smell. Your beagle's nose can't tell the difference. You're making it worse. Now, carpet. This is the big one. Beagle urine soaks through carpet into the pad underneath, and surface cleaning doesn't reach it. You either need to pull up the carpet or saturate that spot with enzymatic cleaner, weight it down with something heavy, and let it soak all the way through. I know that sounds extreme. It's not optional with this breed. Do yourself a favor. Get a UV blacklight flashlight and sweep your whole house. You'll probably find spots you didn't know about. Old, low-grade marking spots are exactly why fully trained beagles seem to randomly relapse. They're not relapsing. They're responding to a scent map you can't see. And don't forget grout lines and baseboards on hard floors. Those hold urine scent for months. One last thing. Do not drag your beagle over to the spot and scold them. They don't connect delayed correction to the act. They connect it to the spot. And anxious beagles pee more, not less. You're training the exact opposite of what you want. Okay, if your beagle was doing great at 5 months and now at 7 months, it's like somebody factory reset the dog, you didn't break anything, I promise. This regression is so common in beagles, it's practically a breed milestone. And it's not your training falling apart. It's 3 things slamming together at once. Sexual maturity kicking in, that scent drive cranking up to a level you haven't seen yet, and adolescent independence, what beagle people lovingly call selective hearing. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The marking is going to throw you, especially with intact males, but females do it too. Little deliberate pee deposits, vertical surfaces, corners, furniture legs. That's not a potty training failure. That's hormones talking. Your dog is sending mail to other dogs. Annoying? Yeah. but it's communication, not confusion. And then there's the thing that drives Beagle owners absolutely nuts. Your dog goes outside, hits a scent trail, gets completely absorbed in it, forgets they had to pee, comes back inside, and goes on your rug. You think the training's gone. It hasn't. The bladder cue just got bulldozed by that nose. That's a Beagle-specific problem, and it's temporary. So here's what you do. Don't crack down harder. Seriously. Escalating punishment during adolescence tanks the trust you built, right when the dog's testing boundaries. Instead, go back to basics. Crate schedule, supervised outings. Treat the 7-month-old like a 3-month-old for 2 to 3 weeks. It feels regressive. It works. The spay-neuter timing thing, look, talk to your vet. Current guidance for medium breeds increasingly leans toward waiting for skeletal maturity, but it's a conversation, not a mandate. And bump up the exercise. Your Beagle at 7 months needs way more than at 4 months. Think 60 to 90 minutes of real sniff and move activity daily. An under-exercised adolescent Beagle channels that frustration into every problem behavior you can name. Most Beagles come out of this by 10 to 12 months. Owners who stay calm get through it. Owners who panic and clamp down, they usually drag it out longer. If your Beagle was reliable and suddenly isn't, and nothing changed in the routine, stop retraining. That's a vet visit. Beagles have a specific list of medical issues that look exactly like she forgot her potty training, and I've watched owners waste weeks on behavior fixes for a problem that needed blood work. UTIs first. Beagles, especially females, are prone. You'll see frequent small accidents from a dog who otherwise knows better. Straining, maybe blood in the urine, obvious discomfort. Classic.
Bladder stones. Beagles have a documented predisposition. Looks a lot like a UTI, but tends to hang around longer, and you might notice your dog shifting posture weird while squatting, like it hurts.
Hypothyroidism, genuinely common in this breed. Increased thirst, more peeing, and this sluggishness that owners write off as laziness. You won't catch this without blood work, so don't guess, test. Cushing's disease shows up more in middle-aged Beagles. The giveaway is dramatic water intake. Your dog suddenly draining the bowl 3 times a day, and accidents follow. Dogs who haven't had an accident in years. There's also Beagle pain syndrome, steroid-responsive meningitis arteritis, breed-specific. The dog can't comfortably get into position to go, so they avoid it, then have accidents later. You see stubbornness. They're in pain. IVDD, intervertebral disc disease, those long Beagle backs. If squatting hurts, they'll hold it, leak, or just refuse to go outside. Major missed signal. Epilepsy? Beagles have higher than average rates. Post-seizure incontinence is real. One unexplained accident in a sleeping dog could be seizure activity you didn't even witness. And diabetes. Beagles love food. They're prone to obesity, and increased urination is often the first flag. My rule, any sudden potty behavior change, especially in a dog over 4, goes to the vet before you touch the training plan. A vet visit is faster and cheaper than 3 weeks of retraining a medical problem.